All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Movie Talks Chill. We are your hosts. I am Tony Serrato.
I am Gavin Butts.
I'm Patrick Wall.
Yes, this is like Sunday sermon.
It goes on Wednesday. No one's going to get that joke.
Go tell it on the mountain. Everybody's going to get that joke.
Yeah. They have a church on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sure.
Okay.
We know you don't know.
Hey, I did my time in Sunday school.
Sounds like prison. I served my time, man. I did my catechisms.
Yeah.
Pastor Stephen, Miss Susan, I love you, but yeah, I did my time.
Parents will always be like, you don't want to go to Sunday school? No. I went to school 5 days already this week. I don't want to take one of my 2 days off, go back to school.
Yeah. It's like, oh, but you don't want to eat tonight?
Yeah. No.
Okay, cool. Either go to work or you go to school.
Oh, you got So I went to work.
Yep.
Mr. Tony, what are we talking about today?
I had no idea.
Woo! Same as me.
I set up a sermon, but apparently we can't do that now. So there we go. Leviticus, you're out. Sorry. Anyway.
But Genesis, you get to stay.
Yeah. Hey, great band. Phil Collins rocks it.
Yeah.
No, today we'll be discussing, Patrick actually did something. He watched the movie that I was saying was so weird, Vivarium. So we'll give a little breakdown to Gavin about that because he didn't have a chance to watch it. And then we will be discussing
The Razzies. Because these movies we've actually fucking seen.
So to our listeners who don't know, what are the Razzies, Mr. Gavin?
So the Razzies are essentially the Oscars, but not.
They're for the
opposite.
The worst.
Yes.
Like the worst movie, worst screenplay, worst this. Basically the big bombs.
Yes. And we've actually seen these movies. And
unlike the Oscars, they do take into effect monetary value of the movie.
Yes.
One of the Razzies, nominated for worst film, I can 100% guarantee belongs there.
Yes. Yes, 100%.
So that's what we're talking about.
Sweet.
We're going to talk Vivarium and Razzies, which
And we
Vivarium
won't know-
might be put into that category.
Well, except it came out in 2016. So.
Yeah.
Minus that, but it could still
We can
be
look
around.
at the Razzies from 2016 to see if
Yeah.
it was in there.
Well, 2017.
Oh, it's 17. Yeah, that's right.
And while you're doing that, I think Patrick's looking at
I really am.
2017 Razzies coming up. So yes, we'll be running through that list, and then we'll also be presenting our own version of Oscars
next episode.
next week.
Yes.
So strap in, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride.
Hopefully I get our tuxedo t-shirts in time.
He won Worst Supporting Actor in 2017.
Yeah. All right then. So let's dive into it. Patrick, tell us how you felt about Vivarium.
So Tony told us about this movie after we finished recording last week, and the only thing he could say is, and I quote, "It's fucking weird." And I was like, can you be a little bit more descriptive? I know you have the knowledge of the English language to do that. And he literally just said, I can't. I can't. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do where you failed. So I went home and watched it, and I came back you're right. I genuinely don't know how to describe this. I've passed college literature and English 1 and 2, and I do not have the capabilities to describe how effing weird this movie is.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird.
It's weird.
I'm going to spoil the shit out of this real quick.
Fine.
No, it came out in 2016. So
Yeah. Exactly.
It starts with Jesse Eisenberg and the female lead who...
Most of these other people you've never heard of.
This is 100% an indie film. It's very low, medium to low budget-ish. It's a young couple looking to buy they're not married, they're just engaged or dating or seriously dating. And they go...
What's seriously dating?
Well, they live together and they're looking to buy a house.
Okay.
And then they go to a realtor who sells them on this...
I can tell you that's not serious dating.
But and they go to talk to a realtor about an up-and-coming development area. And the realtor convinces them to go take a look and just come check out the property. You'll say yes. And then they take a quick tour of number 9 house.
Yes.
Which everything is identical,
yes.
by the way. So they go down and it looks like you're It's almost like a scene similar to like Edward Scissorhands, where
Yeah.
all the houses look the same, but in this case, they're all the same color. It's like it almost looks like a big maze. It's like
Yeah.
everything's even, north, south, east, west. Everything's the same shape, and it's like you could get
The sky has the same number of clouds. They all look the same. It's weird. And I'm going to be saying that a lot.
Yep.
So they get to this house. They're taking the tour with the realtor. And then the realtor says, why don't you go check out the backyard? It's very spacious. And they go outside, take a look. And then the realtor leaves. He is gone. And then they try and leave this development. No matter how many turns, go straight, left, right, they cannot leave. They are trapped. And then after one day of, I think they slept in the living room that night, but they said, let's just follow the sun. So no matter what was in front of them, they were go through that house, over the fence, through the backyard, whatever. They just followed the sun. And then after all day of walking, they find a house with the light on. They're like, oh my God, there's someone else here. Let's ask them for help. It's the house they started at.
Yeah. It always leads them back to number 9, their house.
And then they got a box of food. And then they, screw you, we're not playing by your rules. And then they get another box. Has a baby in
Well,
it.
the first box, though, you got to remember these boxes, they just show up.
Yeah.
So like, there's never like a knock on the door.
Yeah.
They open the door in the
It's
morning and there's
there.
a box there, and then there's usually a note or something.
Like on the lip, it says, put all of your trash in here and put it outside or something like that. But the second one has a baby. And the note says, raise the child and you'll be let go.
Oh,
Simple.
Well,
so 18 years,
Yeah.
huh?
Well, you're thinking of that. So it cuts to he's, 10. And then in the breakfast, he screams for food, just, and then just quickly pour milk and cereal, and then he shuts the fuck up. And then he says, measure me. And then he goes to like the molding and they mark it. And then it says day 98. So it's less than half a year. They have like a 10-year-old.
Well, you
Tony-
missed something. There's a point
God.
where they're laying in bed because days go on, or maybe it's right after that. Somewhere I saw it one time, and it's weird. They're laying in bed. I remember the kid walks in. They both just flip him off,
Yeah.
and he sits there. But then he's out of nowhere. He starts mimicking their voices.
And starts like having the
it's like-
conversation they had the night before.
But it keeps cutting back and forth, like he's looking different ways, and it's him as Jesse Eisenberg and him as the other woman,
Right.
But it's like it sounds like them, but it's just weird because it's weird. But it's for no reason. He just starts talking and mimicking them, and then it starts driving him nuts. And then, well, I'll let you continue from there.
I think the next scene is Jesse Eisenberg. Trying to recap this movie. We wanted to do an episode on this, but someone didn't watch it.
God damn it.
Buddha.
Yeah, it's Buddha
Damn
or
it,
the
Buddha.
giraffe statue.
I loved you, Electric Buddha.
You leave Korean Jesus out of this.
Well, there's a couple things that go on. So basically, you find out. I mean, they never tell you this, but basically, whenever the kid wants to eat something,
He screams.
and it's just this. It's just this annoying thing, and like it starts driving the woman nuts, and driving both of them crazy. And then I remember there's one scene where he's screaming and she's pouring the cereal and milk, and like Jesse Eisenberg just grabs the bowl and throws it against the wall.
And he's like, scream all day, you little fucker.
Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of stuff goes, but he's outside and he sees like a little dirt patch.
Well, so what happens is he's smoking one of his last few cigarettes because they can't leave and they don't give him cigarettes, and then he flicks it onto the AstroTurf and then creates like a little dirt circle. And Jesse Eisenberg's character is a landscaper, gardener, somewhere around there, and all of his tools are in the car. So he just starts digging. He's like, there has to be a way out, if not left, right, or center, down. So that's his character now. He just digs.
Oh, we also forgot another thing too. At one point, they set fire to the house.
Oh, yeah.
He sets fire. He comes in because also the thing is with the food, with the box of food, everything tastes bland. So everything's like freeze packeted, like
Right.
or airtight things.
Think
so
like
there's
space food.
Yeah, it's like there's like
Basically,
pork chops.
Army
in there.
MREs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like pork chops are in there, but they're just like vacuum sealed, but there's no taste to anything.
Yeah.
It's like everything's bland, and they don't get any seasonings. They just have to eat whatever it is. So they start getting nuts, and I can't remember if it's before or after the kid shows up.
I think it's before.
Okay, so before that, yeah, he goes and he comes in, he gets his lighter, and lights the curtains on fire, and the house starts burning down. They're outside, and then it's like,
And then
smoke clears, and once everything clears out, the house is back to normal.
What I did like about that scene is they both just suddenly fall asleep. So I think in this realm or wherever they are, at like 10 o'clock, you're gone. You're asleep. Because they're sitting there on the street. This can't be comfortable, and they're watching this house just burn to the ground, and they both just like conk out.
Yeah.
So, they don't need sleeping pills or any kind of medication to fall asleep. They just do.
Hey, at least, the siren doesn't go off and Triangle Head comes to kill you.
Yeah, that's Pyramid Head, but yes.
Whatever.
Also, they do show a scene where Jesse Eisenberg and the girlfriend, they make it a point to have sex every night, but there's no point. It was just, hey, by the way, don't forget, these are a couple. They have sex. It also comes into a plot point where Jesse Eisenberg says, not tonight. And then she kind of loses her shit on that one. Because the whole time they're calling the kid a thing and it. Kind of like a monster, basically. But Jesse Eisenberg is resolute in this. Like, that's not a child. That's a thing. I want nothing to do with it. I just want him to shut up so I can go back to digging my hole. Yeah. But the girl slowly, you can see the transformation, slowly starts thinking of the kid as a son or something she needs to care for.
Yeah,
and take care
paternal
of.
instinct.
Yes. But I mean, it's very slowly throughout this 90-minute film where she starts, and Jesse Eisenberg's character starts to resent her. I mean, like, you're treating it like a son. It's a monster. It's a thing. It's an it. We should snap its neck and be done with this. And she starts to saying no. And whenever he starts screaming, she runs into the room and she starts to coddle him and take care of him. And then
I tried that. It doesn't work.
Well, then there was that one scene where he starts talking to her about I can't remember what he says, but then she's like, "You're sick" or something.
Yeah.
Like, "You're disgusting, and she runs out. And then there's also the lovely scene of it. I can't remember how it began, but I can't remember if they were talking or whatever. She does something to the kid, and all of a sudden he starts making these noises, and then
I forgot about
neck
that.
starts protruding, like these big gland things start
like
coming
a
out.
toad or a frog.
But on each side, and he's just like making this sound, and it just goes away, and it just stops.
Forgot about that one. Thanks, buddy.
So yeah, you
gotta
really
sleep well
realize
tonight?
this is not a normal human being. And then after time goes on, because we want to make sure we have time for the awards. So
We got plenty of time.
oh, we do, but there's still a lot to tell though. So after a certain point, then it cuts to, and the kid is like a fully grown
Yeah,
adult.
he's like a mid-20-year-old.
Yeah. And they're still taking care of him, but he still starts acting. And then there's that one scene that got really weird, where, I mean, everything's really weird, but she starts chasing him, and all of a sudden he lifts up the sidewalk,
Oh, yeah, and
like
then
the
crawls
concrete
underneath.
sidewalk, and just like pulls up, and he crawls underneath, and because he starts hissing at her again, like doing that weird hiss, and she's able to stop and be able to get underneath, and it's like another like housing type setup, but there's different doors, and it looks like something out of like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, with it's just so awkwardly set up, and
Or like Beetlejuice, where they're in that long hallway
Yeah.
with all the doors.
Yeah.
and so he starts chasing her there, and I remember she ends up back at the house, coming
Number 9.
like through the door, and she's outside her front door again. And then there's a scene where like Jesse Eisenberg finally is digging, and he finds like a bag or something, right?
Yeah.
a bag.
It's a quartz bag. There's one of the previous residents. About 30 feet down.
Damn.
Yeah.
And so anyway, as time goes on, they're fighting, going back and forth. The long story short is, 15 minutes of the story here is that eventually,
I can't remember how, spoilers, they all die. How does Jesse Eisenberg die? I remember she was holding him on the sidewalk and he was taking one last drag out of a cigarette.
I think the kid killed him, or the adult killed him.
Okay.
Or something happened, but he ends up dying, or maybe it's because he hadn't eaten or something, something along those lines. Something killed him. And basically, the kid gets his body bag.
We should say, before that happens, the adult kid, basically, it's time to let him to be released. And to be released means to die.
Yeah. So not to be able to get out of this weird maze of tasteless food and weird children with toad-like profusions out of their neck. So he puts him in the body bag and he drops him in that hole, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And then so it goes on and on and on, and she's trying to find or stop him. And basically,
He kills her.
he kills her. And then I think the final end. Oh, good.
She's alive when he puts her in the body bag. He just seals it and then tosses it into the hole.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then basically it cuts to like there's a scene later on. Do you want me to get to that, or do you want to do it? Or?
The ending doesn't answer anything, and it
No.
bothers me.
But basically,
By all
yeah,
means.
but it's like it's the old, the older version of him, the adult version, and a couple comes in, and he basically takes over like the portion of the real estate agent. And
So
he's
he
like,
becomes the new real estate agent, and when he shows up, the guy who showed them the house initially is dead or dying, like in the chair, like. "Ugh." So he puts him in the same body bag that he put the other two in, opens up a filing cabinet, puts the body in there, realizes it won't close because the legs are too long, cracks them in half the wrong way around, and then closes it and sits down, just eating. Hi, how can I help you today? Why are they doing this just for realtors? This makes no sense.
So the only thing that I could gather from the entire movie is that guy who was the original realtor was another version of like this.
Yeah,
kid.
another
Yeah.
couple did the same thing for
So
him.
they basically are cycling. I don't know where the babies come from. I mean, not,
Yeah.
I know in real life where they come from, but in this particular
these,
instance
yeah.
of
They
these.
got delivered in a box.
So I think basically it's like when the life cycle of a realtor might be up or coming up, then
But what are the
they have to-
realtors?
I don't know. They're just these weird, random, weird people.
It's a weird fucking movie.
It insists on itself.
Yes.
What does that even mean, Peter?
It's insisting. Of course it's insisting. It's a good movie.
it insists that you don't know what's happening.
You don't- yeah.
I mean,
I
I want to know if at any point the actors were like, what the fuck are we doing here? What is this scene and why?
well, it came out in 2016. So when did Batman vs Superman come out?
2016.
Was it the same year?
Yeah, because Ben Affleck won Worst Actor for the Razzie in that year.
Okay, so Jesse Eisenberg was probably thinking, hey, I've got Batman and Superman locked down. I can do this garbage movie or this weird thing. And, that's not going to matter because I'm Lex Luthor now and it's going to be amazing. Didn't turn out that way, as we all know. So
To be fair, when I looked up the Razzies from that year, it just said he won Worst Supporting Actor. It doesn't say if it was from Batman and Superman or Vivarium.
Oh, I thought it was for that specifically.
It just
Oh.
says he won Worst Supporting Actor.
Nah.
I mean, it's got to be for Batman
It's
vs
gotta be for
Superman,
Batman,
then, because
he was the lead. And
It
Yeah.
just says Worst Supporting Actor winner, Jesse Eisenberg.
yeah, I bet he didn't go pick up that award.
no. Then you go for 3, go for a Razzie.
The Razzie.
Yeah. Yeah, that movie's... I can't tell you how much I wish I didn't watch it.
Now you're glad.
So now you're upset
That's
with me
not the
because
word
I
would
did it.
use. You don't.
You have developed. You have a learning experience. You've experienced something.
Yeah, right.
You travel through some kind of internal emotions, and now you're different.
Every experience is experience, Patrick.
So I did a find-in page for the 2017 Razzies. VIV is not on the page, so Vivarium wasn't even listed.
Okay.
So he must have won it for Batman versus Superman.
Yeah,
Which
especially when he said
makes
supporting
sense.
actor.
That movie
yeah.
was garbage.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, I actually like Jesse Eisenberg as an actor. He just has happened to pick up certain roles that were not great. Like, I loved him in Adventureland. I loved him in Zombieland.
Yep.
They are two
American
different movies.
Ultra wasn't awful.
American Ultra was good. Obviously, one of his first movies he did was called Roger Dodger. It's actually an indie film, but that's actually very good.
I liked him
Social
in Now You
Network.
See Me.
Now You See Me,
Yeah.
Social Network. Yeah, so he's done a bunch of good stuff. So it's
Yeah.
not. When I say this movie was bad, like even his acting in this one was bad, but I don't blame that fully on him. It's like how far can you really act with
Yeah,
this?
like he did the
confined
best he could with the
story.
material given to him.
Yeah, because they're like you can't, you're confined in this house and this story with, and the girl really wasn't that great of an actor either.
Yeah, she.
I mean, none of it was really good acting. So it's like even as a good actor, it's hard to work off something when you have nothing to work off of,
Yeah.
or very little. And again, I'm sure she might be great too, but this was my first time seeing her, and I was not impressed. But
Me either.
I hope to see her in something else where she is good, and then.
She looked a lot like a.
Take a break.
Emily Blunt. Who's married to John Krasinski?
I don't know.
That's Emily Blunt.
Okay, yeah, she looked like a skinnier, malnourished Emily Blunt.
No.
Nothing against you, just eat a hamburger. I'm just saying.
Well, now that we've told you one of the weirdest, worst movies we've seen, even though it came out in 2016, but we saw it this year, now we can move on to our list of
It's not even our list. This is
It's Imogene Potts.
Imogene Potts.
So we're going on to the Razzie Awards at the time of this recording. The Oscars are happening tonight, along with the Razzie Awards. Gavin was nice enough to compile and email us a list of all of these awful movies. And let's talk about these.
Let's talk about them. Why don't you list them off for
Well,
us?
let's start with the worst picture.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not saying read everything straight down.
Yeah, okay.
Let's
Well,
start
good,
our
because this
category to
document
category.
is fairly intensive.
It's a Word document.
It's 3 pages.
Yeah, 3 pages of a Word document. It's not even
space.
single space.
Double line space.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with worst picture. Number 1, Borderlands.
I agree.
That movie was terrible.
And for the cast it had,
Yeah, it should have been amazing.
Yeah.
But Jack Black, Kevin Hart, Kate Blanchett. I mean, this movie was stacked to the nines with talented comedians. And
I thought we had Kate Blanchett for the budget. It's Carte Blanche, you
Carte
idiot.
Blanche. I think they were trying with that one. It was whoever was making it saw Guardians of the Galaxy, really liked Guardians of the Galaxy, as most of us did because it's a very good movie.
Yeah.
And was trying to do something similar
Well, I
to
think
that.
he watched Guardians of the Galaxy, came home and saw his kid playing Borderlands. Like, I could work with this.
Yeah.
But I played Borderlands 1, 2, and 3, and there's number 4 coming out, and I'm super excited. But they did it horribly. They did not do it justice. They just like, yeah, my kid plays it. I got this.
Do you? Do you really?
Nope.
You really don't. And then we got Joker.
Folly a deux.
Adieu. See, it's catching on. Hot Shots did it best.
Yes, Hot Shots did it great. This did not.
This was a 2-hour-long music video for Lady Gaga.
I actually watched it. Did you watch it?
Nope.
You didn't watch it.
I heard your review.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it was it really just wasn't my cup of tea. I mean, I like musicals, but
Yeah.
I
like
don't
Joaquin Phoenix, but Lady Gaga?
well, and even that part I don't mind. It's just I like musicals and I like comic book movies. I don't feel the need to connect the two.
Yeah.
It's like I like barbecue chicken, I like pizza. I don't like barbecue chicken pizza. I don't
See, I
feel the
do.
need. And some people do, a lot of people do. But I'm that type of person. There's certain things I don't
Listen.
feel we should mesh together.
Yeah, that's true.
And this particular
It's like lamb and tuna fish.
Ew.
Perhaps you like spaghetti and meatball.
Yes.
Hey, I'll give you a crew cut.
This is America.
It's not my fault your father was sick. Imagine watching Nightmare on Elm Street way too soon.
They give you crew cut.
Thank
But yeah, so it was, it was like, it's kind of like watching Little Shop of Horrors, only not as fun. And,
Oh, that just bums me out.
but it was just because what I mean by that is like there's a little bit of talking, and all of a sudden there's music going on. And it's like, they're talking, then there's music going on. Then there's a scene where they rape Joaquin Phoenix in prison, the prison guards do.
Oh,
And then they sing a little bit later than that. Yeah, I don't.
sounds like that Kevin Bacon movie that I
Penis in
unfortunately
your
watched.
butt.
No.
Oh.
They don't sing about the rape, and the rape is only implied. You only
What's
ever
the
see
name of
them.
that movie?
Which
That,
one?
Oh,
the
Brad
King
Pitt.
Sleepers.
Sleepers, yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, that movie's messed up.
But yeah, so they just imply that it's how, like, you see him getting drugged, you see the one guy basically make an innuendo statement, and then they cut, and then so luckily you don't. It's not
Kinda
like a scene
kinda
from
like
Oz. or-
Shawshank Redemption.
yeah. Although Shawshank showed a little bit more.
Well, yeah.
It was implied. Yeah, but it was definitely not an episode of Oz.
Well, that's good.
But so yeah, you get that. It just, I don't know. It just really wasn't. I agree with that. It should have deserved to be in that category.
So along with that, we have Madam Web, which was absolutely terrible.
I've unfortunately watched that movie.
And I don't remember this one, Megalopolis.
Never even heard of it.
I don't know that one. Megalopolis.
And then Regan.
Regan's the horror movie, right?
I think so.
If it's horror, we know my ass hasn't seen it.
We obviously know. And what are you going to put for our nominees of the best horror picture?
Oh, that's gonna be a tough one.
Hotel Transylvania.
Part 3. That movie was garbage. Madam Web, though, I'm not surprised it's on this list.
Wait, how's it spelled?
REA.
Reagan.
Actually, you know what that movie is? That's Reagan.
Oh, Reagan.
That's the one Dennis Quaid did
Oh.
as Ronald Reagan.
Oh.
the biopic.
Yeah.
I understand why Sony made Madam Web, but they need to stop because the same writers who did Madam Web did Kraven the Hunter
And Morbius.
And Morbius.
They were all terrible.
yeah. Once Morbius came out and they're like, all right, you writing team, you're fired. Get the fuck out.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're horrible.
Yep. We've had 3 bombs. Should have
Yes.
stopped you at 1 bomb.
Yeah, well, even if they're like, you know what, you got one more chance, and then they came up with Madam Web. All right, you're never working in Hollywood ever again. You're gonna write short stories for the internet, and you're
or just say that just not writing for comic book movies.
yeah.
Comic book adaptations, I should
And I
say.
really wanted to like Kraven the Hunter because I really like the main actor, and in the comic verse, he's a really good villain for Spider-Man. And I know why Sony's doing it. They're just pumping out Spider-Man IPs left, right, and center because they have to keep their license agreement from Marvel. But they need better writers, directors, and sometimes actors,
They're saving them all for Spider-Man 17.
right?
which they can't do until their contract with Marvel is up because Spider-Man's on loan to the MCU.
Well,
Sony
and
still
he's
owns
gonna,
them.
and he's gonna stay on loan because that's the only way they're making money right now
Exactly,
with those
yeah.
characters.
Yeah, Marvel is paying them an ass ton of money every time they come out with a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, but then Marvel gets to keep most of the profits from the end portion.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Which is a better deal for them. That's why when they first did, which one was it? Maybe it was under
Civil
Civil
War.
War. Or it
That's-
might not have even been Civil War. It might have been Homecoming. Because
No,
Civil
it
War was
was-
his first appearance.
Exactly.
But I think they still had a different deal when they did Homecoming. And
Well, no, they
realized
had
could
they
make-
had the deal already in place. That's why. So they did that, and that's why they cast Tom Holland as Spider-Man because they basically filmed or they did the filming of Spider-Man all together.
Okay.
Even though Spider-Man came out almost 2 years later, like they kept working on it because they had to get Tony Stark in there,
Robert Downey
Downey Jr. Because he basically, he was on loan to Sony at that point as Iron Man, being in a Sony film. So it was kind of more of like a package deal for that first movie.
Yeah. And then they said we're rewriting the deal now. They're like,
Yeah.
let us just make the movie completely. Don't
Right.
don't have any because they were trying to pushing like creative control with it, and it's like we'll just pay you to stay out of it. That's really
Yeah,
what it was.
exactly.
You can own the IP all you want, but we just want to rent him. How does...
Rent a Man.
Is that what the fuck you think I do?
Which I'm wondering, even though they own the IP, I'm wondering if
It's the only one
if
they've
he
done right.
if they keep showing Spider-Man in MCU movies, does that rewrite the timeline for the Sony deal? Because I believe it's every 3 or every 5 years they have to make something in order to retain the rights. But I'm wondering because they're borrowing the rights, does that count for their rights on their deal? So like if they made No Way Home.
It sounds like a lawyer question that I'm not ready for.
When did No Way Home come out? 2022 was it? I think
What,
yes.
Far From Home?
No Way Home, the last
Way
one.
Oh, yeah. That
The
sounds
last
about
one.
right. Yeah.
So
The one-
2022. So we're in 2025, but they had. If I don't think he's appeared in anything since then, right?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Because he
To
wasn't
be
in
fair,
Doctor
Phase
Strange
4
in
of
the Mouth of
MCU
Madness.
was... The Phase 4 has been total crap.
Yeah, but he wasn't in Doctor Strange, the Mouth of Madness, right? I don't think-
Multiverse of Madness.
Or Multiverse of Madness, right?
The Mouth of
There is a movie called The Mouth of Madness somewhere.
I'm sure there is.
There's also a very good book called the Mountains of Madness.
Okay. So basically, it's 2025 now. So if he hasn't appeared in anything since then,
I don't know
I
the terms.
wonder if they basically saying we got 2 more years, or if using the characters from his universe that they own the rights to, if that retains Spider-Man as their character.
That-
Because
you
they're
remember
calling
there
it the
was
Spider-Verse.
yeah,
Yeah.
without Spider. You know what that would be a great question for? You remember last year when they had that at the film festival? They had the Marvel producer that was
Mitch Bell.
Yeah, Mitch Bell. He would be able to answer that without
Yeah.
question.
I just don't have his phone number or his email address.
He might not be able to answer it.
Well, he knows the answer.
Yeah. I bet he knows the answer. Yes. Whether or not he can give it to us because it's G14 classified.
GLG 20 above.
Well, it's like me and Dave met somebody yesterday. We were at courtside, and this guy comes out to hang out for a minute in the back corner, and he was talking about something, and he mentioned he was a vet, and Dave's like, "Oh, I work for the VA." Anyway, long story short, they got into this thing about VA, and he's like, "Oh, you should be able to get this, to get this paperwork." And the guy's like, "Well, no, because my records got squashed, like all my medical records got and so Dave's like, "Oh, no, they should have." Record of it somewhere, and he's like, "Well, no, something happened." Dave's like, "Well, they can have it here if you went to a doctor." He's like, "No, I kind of worked for a while for a little 3-letter agency that we can't speak of that borrowed me for a little bit, so no, I can't." And we're like, "Oh, okay." So that might be like a Mitch Bell question. Like, I can't really answer it. I work for MCU's a 3-letter organization.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service, Mr. CIA, ONI, FBI.
We don't say anything. We don't say anything.
He will find me.
Yes.
No, he worked for the OGA.
No. Nobody's gonna break in the door. There's just gonna be a
Other
bullet
government
that
agency.
just comes through the window.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Patrick's just gonna be like,
Yeah. If you hear the shot, it wasn't meant for you.
movies about snipers. That's our next episode. As he's bleeding out on the table.
And now we're talking about Shooter with Mark Wahlberg.
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Tony, because I've been.
Well, movie talks and Tony now.
Let's move on, shall we?
Sure. So we got
Worst actors.
all right.
So the first one is Jack Black from a movie called Dear Santa. I've never heard of this movie.
That's the movie that just came out.
Yeah, it just came out
like right around
right
Christmas.
before Christmas. I've heard mixed reviews on it. I've heard that some people are like, all right, well, if you take the movie kind of almost like Cocaine Bear, you take it for what it is
and don't read anything into it.
Exactly. Yes, it's actually so basically Jack Black is Satan, but he comes in and it's kind of almost like a Nightmare Before Christmas deal.
Oh, okay.
Like he takes on the persona of Santa.
Oh, sounds chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's Jack Black, so he does the Pick of Destiny.
It's like Violent Night, but not as good.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we got Zachary Levi, who I loved him in Chuck. I loved him in Shazam. He was really good in that Kurt Warner biopic. Mm-hmm. But he was in a movie called The Herald and the Purple Crayon.
I did not watch it.
That sounds like a garbage movie. I know nothing about it outside that
Isn't
I now
it based
know.
off like a kid's book or something?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I think it's based off a kid's story. I don't know. I never watched it.
The sequel to Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Oh, hey now. That's actually a good musical.
just kidding.
That's
I'm
actually a
just
very good musical.
And then Joaquin Phoenix for Joker Folie à Deux.
Yep.
Duh.
That's we talked about that already.
And then Dennis Quaid in Reagan.
And I never got the chance to watch Reagan, but I can't see how he could have gotten a worse. I've never seen him in anything where he was a worse actor. Like, I can't picture him being a bad actor in anything. I can't.
Well, he's the dude. Why would...
No, that's not the dude.
That's, yeah.
Sure.
No, you're wrong.
I know I'm wrong. The look on Gavin's face, without even saying anything, reminds me that I'm wrong.
Super Game, World Series, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Decidedly not.
Exactly.
But that's me personally. I just don't think Dennis Quaid has ever seen. I've never seen him do anything where I thought it was a bad movie or where he was a bad actor in it. Even Jaws 3, when he really wasn't the greatest
I'm going to
of
go ahead
actors in
and
that
just
movie.
say I've never seen that
Nah,
one.
I know. Well, you just got around to seeing 4 years ago. 3 years
7
ago.
years ago.
That's not 7 years ago because you just saw it after we started this.
No, I saw it before we
Oh,
started
that's
this.
right. Yeah, a couple years before that.
But I do. I like Jaws 3, and I like how cheesy it is with where they still, because you can see the scenes in there where it was supposed to be 3D, but they didn't really realize that, if this goes to VHS, no one's going to take home 3D goggles
Yeah.
in there. And the TV at the time couldn't do the 3D.
No. No.
So you just have this weird looking shark coming at the aquarium.
I mean, it came out when I was a kid. I will say it did bother me a little bit to go to SeaWorld to that underneath tank thing after
Yeah,
that.
after
they all
seeing
got
that, right?
After they get stuck in there.
Oh, sorry, Patrick. Spoilers.
I'm sorry, what?
Exactly.
Well, I was looking up the next one. Jerry Seinfeld in a movie called Unfrosted.
Isn't that about the Pop-Tart thing?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like...
Oh,
In
yeah.
1963, Michigan business rivals Kellogg's and Post compete
Yeah.
to create a cake that could change breakfast forever.
It's essentially a spoof on the cereal industry, and it was done on Netflix.
Yeah, I don't think he was going for like an Academy Award when he made this movie.
Right.
Like that wasn't his
But I don't
intention.
think he was aiming for a Razzie Award either.
I mean, the movie was just kind of dumb. Like, it was trying to be punny and stuff, but it was just like this one guy dies in the experiment that they're trying to do to create this new breakfast cereal, and they give him like something like he is to be buried with 21 pounds or something of the cereal, and his wife's sitting like, what are you doing? It's like, this is the highest honor we can give him. It's like, he never liked your cereal. Like,
Unfrosted.
Yes, I could read the name of the movie.
I'm just repeating it for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have worst actress, Kate Blanchett, Borderlands. I can agree with that. She was not very good at all with.
But she was
That
the
character.
best in the movie.
I mean,
Out of everyone else, she acted the best.
okay.
But I mean, I will say there's Kate Blanchett normally, and then there's the Borderlands movie.
yeah,
But everyone else did the same thing. Kevin Hart, Borderlands.
Well, it's like saying Jamie Lee Curtis, Borderlands.
Yeah. And she had supposed to have like one of the most funniest characters. Her and Tiny Tina, they are the funniest characters in the video games, and they fucked them over so hard. It was disgusting.
well, yeah, because they tried to cast Kevin Hart as the badass Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Kevin Hart, dude. Come on, man. I don't care what.
It's hard to be menacing when you're 3'11".
Yeah. You know who would have made a great commander? Idris Elba.
Yeah, 100%.
And he can do comedy. I've seen it. He was
Oh,
in The
yeah.
Office.
Oh yeah, he's great at comedy.
Or The Rock.
Yeah.
that guy can do comedy.
Well, I mean, he also does it like as so deadpan in the Sonic movies.
Oh, yeah.
because he's Knuckles.
Well, I just still remember the Office episode where like all the women are like swooning over him. He's like, "Yes, I'm aware of the effect I have on women."
So we have Lady Gaga, Joker Folie à Deux.
Yeah.
You know, this is the brutalist Joker. The new Joker movie is just running a
Yes.
train
Yeah.
on
Yes.
the Razzies.
Bryce Dallas Howard in Argyle.
I've
I don't think
heard
I
of it.
Saw that one.
I didn't see it, but
but-
I like Bryce Dallas Howard.
Dakota Johnson and Madam Web. I mean, not even her getting naked would have made that movie good.
It's impossible. Jennifer Lopez in Atlas.
Yeah, I don't even remember Atlas.
It was an answer to my crossword puzzle this morning, but I don't remember the movie.
Well, that really
Book
helps
full
us.
of maps.
Yeah.
It was actually the clue.
Yeah, there's a giant crease through Wichita.
We roll the map.
Yeah, they should have just had atlases.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Encyclopedia Britannica of atlases in the back of their truck.
Yes. Yes.
Fuel mileage goes to a tank a mile.
Get yourself a new map.
You just see it, the back end of it dragging.
Yeah.
So then we have worst supporting actor.
All right.
And Jack Black is on here again.
And so is Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah, Borderlands kind of
Also-
Borderlands and Madam Web.
Yep.
Jack Black in Borderlands. I don't know. I think he did the role correctly, but once again, it was just so bad writing. Because Claptrap in the Borderlands game is supposed to be this annoying little shit that you can't get rid of. He's a narrative. He's a framing device, like telling you why you're doing this, what's going on in the world, all that kind. And there's even what I thought was going to be a very funny joke in the trailer where he just starts pooping like expent bullet shells. I was like, all right, that's got to be hilarious. I got to that point, and you just threw that in there willy nilly. No.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Jack Black's character from Community.
Yeah.
when he just wouldn't go away. He just thought he was part of the group.
Yeah, but he was actually funny in that episode.
No, I'm saying that's probably what he should have done for this.
But he just got the one-liners. He wasn't a framing device. He wasn't a narrative-telling person. He was just there for poop
Quote
jokes.
unquote comic relief.
Yeah. But it's bad writing. We all know Jack Black is really good at acting. We all know Kevin Hart's a really good actor. But the writing and the direction of this movie was suboptimal. That's how I can politely put it.
So Hollywood, slow down on the comic book and video game movies.
Or
Take
at
a
least
step
if you're
back.
going to do it right.
I just
That's what I'm
want
saying. Slow down.
I just want to cut ahead because, I mean, the Razzies are really, really picking on John Voight this year. He is nominated for Worst Supporting Actor for 4 movies.
Oh, shit.
Megalopolis, Reagan, Shadowland, and Stranger. It's like, damn.
Sorry, John.
Did you do anything? Like, I was like, usually if you get 4 roles in a year, that's awesome. But when all of them are the worst that you've ever done.
And the winner is John Voight for all of them. Every movie
For
he
which
did.
performance? Yes.
Yes. Hope you got your paycheck before, John.
But also, too, above that, Shia LaBeouf has got a Razzie for Megalopolis. What is this movie? That was terrible.
I don't know, but all I do know is that Francis Ford Coppola directed it. Exactly, yeah. So apparently, him and the Screen Actors Guild or the studio for the Oscars had a big falling out.
I've tried his wine. It's garbage.
It's much like this movie, apparently. That's probably what it was. The movie was about making wine.
And then you got Tahar Rahim in Madam Web. Don't know who that is, but it's Madam
Basically
Web.
everybody in Madam Web. It's
Yeah.
just like,
Pretty much, yeah.
all right, what do we got next?
So
We're supporting
worst
actress.
actress.
Once again, Unfrosted, Madam Web, Reagan, Argyle, and Craven the Hunter. Ariana DeBose got 2 nominations for that
Yes,
one.
she
It's
did.
the Bossier.
DeBossier.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's
I just-
fancy.
It's so fancy.
DeBose.
DeBose.
And then FKA Twigs in The Crow. Did they remake The Crow?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
It was not good.
Well, clearly. Whoever FKA Twigs is. Wait, is that the adjudicator from John Wick 3?
I have no idea.
Well-
Only there was this magic box
Yeah.
we could ask it questions.
Magical rectangle. All right,
All
let's
right,
keep
so-
going.
Excuse
Worst
me.
director?
Worst director, we have S.J. Clarkson from Madam Web.
All right.
Shocker. Francis Ford Coppola for Megalopolis.
That's just sad because he's such a.
I know.
I mean,
It is not the
obviously,
same
his
person.
most famous stuff.
I think it's probably because he stopped doing Blow.
No
What do you
junk, no soul.
When he got clean.
That happens to people. Sometimes they lose their edge.
True. Todd Phillips for Joker.
Yep.
Eli Roth. Is he a relation to Nick?
No.
Okay.
What about Brendan?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
But
I don't know their lineage.
Eli Roth for Borderlands, and then Jerry Seinfeld for
So
Unfrosted.
not only is he getting worst actor nominee, he's getting worst director for the same movie.
So both things you did in that movie were terrible.
Yes.
You know what? Just make B movie 2. B movie was great.
this time.
Or make Seinfeld the movie. That's all you can do. Just
Oh
make it.
wow! And all right, here's a good category: worst screen combo.
All right, can't wait for this one.
Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga.
No joke. Okay.
Any 2 obnoxious characters,
But
but
especially
especially Jack
Jack
Black
That is hilarious.
for Borderlands.
So Dennis Quaid and Penelope Ann Miller. for-
Unfrosted, any 2 unfunny comedic actors.
Yeah, because
Megalopolis, the entire
the
cast.
entire cast.
Yep.
Yes. It's like, damn.
The fuck is Megal? I gotta look this movie up.
It's like a futuristic type thing, I believe. While you're looking that up, let's keep it going.
So we have prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel. The Crow, and this is obviously worst.
Yeah.
The Crow, Joker, Craven, obviously, Mufasa. That's a hard one
It really wasn't
because
that great, though.
yeah. But I mean, at the same time, it was like I was like, I was kind of excited that it came out, but I kind of get what they're going with this category of like, it didn't need to be made.
They need to just stick with just strictly cartoon.
Holy crap! There are like 3 novels crammed into the description of this movie.
Yeah.
And then finally, Rebel Moon. I liked the first one, but the second one, it just, kind of fell flat.
Yeah.
It like lingered on for no reason.
Let's see what worst screenplay is.
Hold on, let me just talk about Megalopolis real quick.
Hang on a minute. You got something to say, ladies and gentlemen.
Pause.
This cast is stacked.
Yeah.
It's
got a lot of great
got
people.
Adam Driver, Giancarlo Esposito, Aubrey Plaza, Shia LaBeouf. He's problematic nowadays. John Voight, Lawrence Fishburne. Like, whatever the budget was, 90% went to the cast.
Well, apparently it was garbage.
Also, you can't stream it anywhere.
Probably why. It's just like, you know what? We're just going to hide this.
But I do like the fact that Adam Driver, Aubrey Plaza, and Giancarlo are not listed anywhere in the Razzies. Like, no.
Yes, they are.
Oh, no.
Any cast.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Or, sorry, the entire cast.
Damn. I like those people.
What were you, the makeup designer? Oh, yeah, you suck.
Oh,
Okay.
you were the key PA? Go kill yourself.
Go over there and punch that director right in the face. So we have worst screenplay, Joker, yet again. Craven,
yep.
we can all agree on that.
Basically
Also,
everything we already just said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Madam
We
Web,
just said.
Megalopolis, and Reagan. So they just all sucked.
And the winners are everybody.
Da-da-da-da.
Or nobody. Nobody won.
Or the losers are everybody.
Oh, God. I can't disagree with anything on this list.
Yep.
Even the ones that I've just heard of now and looked up. Like, yeah, reading the description of this movie makes me feel pain.
Giving you an aneurysm?
Yeah.
It hurts my brain hole.
And the ones I have seen, I'm not surprised they're here.
Yep.
Genuinely. These movies are garbage.
I just like how they're like, oh, well, no one liked Madam Web because it was an all-female cast. Excuse me?
No.
No, it just sucks.
It was a very bad film.
Yes.
Written by the same people who did Morbius, which was also a very terrible film.
and was
is-
basically a male cast.
Yeah.
Mainly a male cast.
Exactly.
We all agree Morbius was bad. Madam Web, we're equal opportunity haters here. Both movies are garbage.
Yeah.
Along with Craven the Hunter, which had the same writing team. It's like the Resident Evil movie series. The first one was okay, and they're like, all right, we're going to give you a chance to write the sequel. And then they just forgot to fire him, so he made 10 more?
Wait, didn't we let that guy go? We fixed the glitch.
Yeah, he just keeps sliding scripts under the door.
Why
they
are we
keep
filming
taking him.
his last movie? Well, money. Like, damn.
I mean, it was a writer's, strike and COVID and the Coriolis effect of the earth.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
No, I just got drunk and forgot.
You ever get drunk and forget? Happened to me.
Oh no, he's making another movie. Damn it.
This one's a killer lamp. Rah. When can I have it?
Sony fire him.
The brave little toaster goes evil.
I'd watch that.
I would too. Did you ever see the original Brave
course
Little
I did.
Toaster?
I'd see the Iron Giant, but it had like a virus that made him want to kill everyone.
No, see, I think we make a maybe the IP's up for that one. Someone needs to get a hold of the Brave Little Toaster and all their Brave Little Toaster characters: the lamp, the blanket, the vacuum, and I can't remember
The
what else.
vacuum?
And the radio. Yeah, it was like a
yeah.
group of them. And if you can make an evil version of that, I mean, I would say I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Puppet master, but with appliances.
Yeah, you never saw the Brave Little Toaster?
I did, yeah, when I was a kid.
Yeah, we'll watch it again. It's good for you.
It's good for you. That's
good for the soul.
It's good old fashioned American
It is not
entertainment.
out of copyright, unfortunately.
When is it?
It doesn't say. It just says it was 1987 when it was made, and in 1982 Disney copyrighted the book, and then they got the movie.
I'm going to get that IP as soon as it's released. And I
So
will
then it's
purchase
probably,
it.
I think, wasn't
like
Mickey Mouse
60 or
50 years?
60 or 70 at this point,
Ugh.
because Disney, being one of the most largest corporations in the world, has been rewriting copyright
Multimedia
laws
conglomerate.
so they could be able to afford lobbyists.
He owns all of the air south of the Shanjin province. The air? Try building anything above 10 stories.
Well, there's a movie back in the day with not Paul Reiser, but
Mini Driver.
no, but
Same thing's kind of rhyme.
it stars Lindsay Lohan and somebody who looks like Paul Reiser from the early '90s.
Okay.
And he's stupid rich, and he meets a girl, and he's like, well, how'd you get all this money? He's like, well, I knew cell phones were going to be a thing, so I bought the airspace. You can't do that. That's not a thing. And even if you did, cell phone signals don't pay taxes.
Apparently, Paul Reiser lookalikes can.
Yeah.
What the hell is his name? It's going to bug the shit out of me.
Well, that was where I got the joke from Ocean's 13 is like when they
Steve Gutenberg. That's who I'm thinking of.
Doesn't look anything like Paul Reiser.
You don't look like Paul Reiser.
I don't. I'm not claiming
That's
to.
exactly right.
Wait, you do look like Paul Reiser.
No, I don't.
You look like Brad Pitt, except not as skinny and the face is different.
Yeah.
So I look skinny and more handsome? That's all I took from that.
Sure.
Keep that. Keep that thought. You're gonna need it. Hold on. To
But
it.
mom says I'm pretty.
Yes. Well, your mother would.
There's an old meme and it's like, you're pretty awful. And the other person's like, oh, thank you. And he's like, well, I just insulted you. Well, I stopped listening after you said it was pretty. That's all
yeah, right?
I mean, Cher's character said that her son Rocky was handsome in The Mask, so that's
Yeah.
a mother's love.
Yeah.
I did.
Clearly a mother's love.
I saw another one with a kid doing that. Is like her mom's doing a reel, and she says, what did Dad say? Dad said I'm pretty, and he's like in the back behind her, like looking at her all pissed off. It's like, no, I didn't. She goes, well, he said I'm pretty annoying, but I stopped. Yeah, all I heard was pretty.
Yeah. I got the main gist of what I needed to hear. Yeah. I took out the bullet points. I ran with that. Razzie.
And we'll find out tonight who wins. It's got to be Borderlands. That's the worst fucking film. Or Megalopolis.
Or just John
All of
Voight's taking all of them. I hope John Voight shows up. He's like, because if I'm nominated for 4, I want 4 fucking awards.
All of them.
Imagine if he won. Like, what award would he... Like, you were the worst in all the movies you did this year.
Thank
or
you.
Or does he get 4 awards or just
That's
one?
what I just... Were you not listening to what I just said?
Yeah, what I'm asking. You don't know for sure. I'm generally wondering, does he get 4 awards or did he just get 1 for just being a bad actor?
If you were nominated for 4... Like, someone told you everything you did this year was terrible, would you fucking show up?
I do most of the time.
If there's free boneless wings, it'll be there.
Free boneless wings and beer,
Yeah.
I'm there. Or, excuse me, what is it, neutrals now?
No, Surfside.
Surfsides, whatever.
Keep changing it up.
Surfsides, Screwball, and some boneless wings. I'm going to have myself a good time tonight.
Don't forget the screwball.
I'd like to thank the Academy and all the viewers
the-
for hating me and everything that I do.
But guess what, bitches? I got paid.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It's like, all right, hey, look, I got nominated for all 4 of my movies, but guess what? I win. Y'all still spent money.
He's just sitting
I
there
made a few mil.
eating food as he's taking.
Yeah,
he
right.
comes up
No,
with his-
eating lobster.
Yeah. Oh,
It's-
sugar's award.
Oh, could you pass me my champagne?
It's like that Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. It was garbage, but they were...
Oh yeah, they both walked away with millions of freaking dollars.
Yeah, like, the only people who lost are the people who tried to watch it. Because Netflix servers just crashed instantly.
Yeah.
It's like at the Oscars, they probably have outside, like, where people have dining and stuff, and it's like lobster and steak and stuff, and shrimp tartare and all this stuff. And then you get to the Razzies, it's like a Domino's box that's open, a couple bags of, like,
And it
the,
just-
the generic Doritos.
It's wrote on there in marker. Take one.
What do we got here? Cheese, pepperoni.
What, no cheese sticks?
All you have is Diet Coke. You
Yeah.
can't get fucking regular.
It's Shasta.
Oh, it's Tab.
Fago.
It's RC Cola.
Yeah. Oh, see.
Hey, I like RC Cola, but it would be funny to see that there. We don't even give you Twizzlers or Red Vines.
No Haribo gummy bears for you.
No.
You get the sugar-free, gluten-free ones.
Yes. You got the Dollar Tree brand.
Yeah.
You get the Dollar Tree sugar bears.
Enjoy them, Sugar Bear.
You get gummy animals. We legally can't say bears.
Yeah, right.
And you brought in the wrong ones. No, not those.
No,
Not
those are the good ones.
Those
But
are
the-
expensive. Those are
Yeah.
expensive.
Those are for the real actors.
I'm sorry, someone stole this from the Oscars.
So you got nominated for everything. You're gonna need one. There you go. Buddy. What do you show up in?
I still like it kind
I
of
would
reminds
show up
me-
in jean shorts and a t-shirt if the only thing I was nominated for was a Razzie.
Jorts.
I still like the end of Austin Powers 3 where Steven Spielberg's out there, you know, they're directing the movie and they get everybody to come in to do the Austin Powers story. And he's like, "So Austin, what'd you think?" It's like, "It looks great. That said, I have some notes." And then Steven Spielberg's just sitting there and he's holding one of his Oscars. He's like, "Yeah, what is it?" He's like,
You know what? If I got John Voight and I was nominated for Worst Actor 4 different times, I would do what Matt Stone did at the Oscars back in like 2011, where they dressed in the Jennifer Lopez dress, then took a bunch of acid, and then went to the Oscars. And
"Oh yeah, the writers for South Park."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then whenever they were asked questions, the only thing they couldn't do was talk about the dress. And they thought it was hilarious until they were sitting in the Oscars and then they realized the acid had worn off. And they're like, when that happens, now you're just at the Oscars.
Yeah. Oh, Matt Stone and Trey Parker,
Yep.
the South Park guys.
And yeah, they did it the year after Jennifer Lopez won that wildly revealing like green dress.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they wore the same dress. It was quite hilarious, but they said once the acid wears off, you're just now at the Oscars.
In a dress.
In a dress.
Yeah. Which I don't think bothered them that the second
No.
part didn't bother them that much.
No, I don't think being in a dress ever bothered those guys.
I think they're just really pissed that the acid wore off before the Oscars were all over.
Damn, I
supposed to be-
told you we should have took 2.
Now you want to take it early?
Yeah.
Now we got to do this. But we are actually about out of time. We only got a couple minutes left, but just want to say thank you guys for joining us talking
The Razzies.
the Razzies and Vivarium, Patrick's new favorite movie. That he's
Oh,
gonna watch
absolutely not.
every
That movie
day.
will haunt me to the day I die.
I'm gonna leave a box outside his door that says "Raise the baby and you'll be released."
And we're
I
just
don't
gonna,
own a gun, but I would get one.
Then you'd have to learn how to use it.
I'm trained in.
I'm gonna, and just for everybody's clarity, I will get a fake baby. It's not
Yeah,
gonna be,
yeah,
I'm
we're
not
not
gonna,
gonna
put a real baby in a box.
I'm gonna get a real gun. That's what's gonna happen.
It's like Office Christmas party. It's like, where'd you get a live baby? Honestly, it's cheaper than you think.
Or the poltergeist, like those skeletons are real. Action.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, her reactions are real in that scene apparently.
And on that note, we head to the
I
episode.
look forward to next weekend or
Yes.
next recording time when we can see who actually won.
We will be discussing.
It's either
the
going to be
Oscars.
Borderlands or Megalopolis.
Yes, and obviously it'll be a little late by the time we do the episode to talk about it, but we're still going to talk about it.
Oh, we're gonna talk.
Because that's what we're gonna do, and then we'll keep you updated. We are about 7 weeks now from the film festival coming up.
a little more than a month.
So, we'll have Doug back on here to give us some updates on that soon, and then we'll go from there. But until then, for Movie Talks and Chill, we are your hosts. I am Tony Serrano.
I'm Gavin Butts.
I am deeply disturbed. And Patrick Wall.
We know.
All right,
Oh, I know.
take care.